What's up, everybody? It's Will Frazier with Craftsman Real Estate Services here to unpack a question that I get asked frequently. That question is, hey, what do you think about this house? And we're talking about what we think about a house, and many times it's inevitable that I cannot explain the thoughts about a home without diving into a comment like this. Man, it's got a converted garage, and I don't love that. And then the inevitable follow-up question is, hey, what's your reasoning for not liking the converted garage? Something that a new friend, Jonathan, and I were talking about today. And it's something that I've unpacked with a lot of different investors over the years. And it's not super simple. One thing that I'll say from the get-go that is to be loathed about converted garages is this. They're converted. Obviously, well, what do you mean there? They're converted, which means I don't have the option to convert it. It means that somebody has already looked at it and said, you know what? I'm going to extend the square footage into the garage and extract that value. I say extract that value in bunnies because who knows what kind of job they did? Who knows whether that person was a savvy craftsman, a ninja, a skilled practitioner, or if they were just a dope that said, no, we need another garage, but a bedroom. Well, because if you're not careful, you will violate the ethos of the area and you will add square footage in a way that the market rejects. So yeah, you jack your rent rates up $10, $20, $30 a month, and then you lower your value, your resale value by, like, you literally in some scenarios in Oklahoma City and many markets similar to Oklahoma City, a converted garage will detract from the value of the home. It's nuts. So you've got a 2-bed, 1-bath with a converted garage that makes it a 3-1, and that 3-1 is less valuable than the 2-1 would be without the converted garage because they have a stigma to them, because they're converted garages. Now, in other scenarios, in the exact same neighborhood I was just thinking of, in the Village, you'll have people who go in and with skill, with quality, with beautiful artistry, they will come in and they will convert a garage and make a well-appointed, well-presented, well-designed 3-bed, 2-bath. Well, if the square footage matches the rest of the house, if it ports well into the rest of the house, and it can be perceived as a contiguous flowing floor plan, then great. You may, in fact, take something that was valued at $150 a square foot and then add 400 square feet of $150 a square foot value. That pencils out. But the difference is, in order to do a garage conversion like that, in the context that I was just thinking of, you're probably going to spend $20,000 to $25,000. But you can convert a garage for less than $5,000. And that is what you find often, especially in rental properties that start out as 2-1s and 3-1s that get pushed up to be 4-1s. It's a lot of times it's people trying to maximize the bedroom game, like to, with certain government assist housing programs that tend to pay based on the bedroom and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, if you're looking at a house with a converted garage, somebody has already made that decision. You don't get to. You can't extract that value. And sorry, I'm dodgy because there's wasps, and I hate flying stingy things. It's a stupid weakness of mine. But you don't get to make that decision. You don't get to decide whether that's a lever you want to pull. Hey, we've got 400 square feet out there, or hey, we got 660 square feet out there. That what if we converted that into heated and cooled and finished square footage and increased value? You don't get to make that decision. Somebody else did, and you are being asked to pay for it. Either you're paying for their excellence, or you're paying for their idiocy, and control is the name of the game. Another reason I don't like garage conversions is because if it happens enough in an area, the whole area sucks. Like if you drive through, and you see this in Oklahoma City a lot, drive through Midwest City areas, parts of Midwest City that are considered renter cities, and you'll see like 1 in every 3, sometimes even 1 in every 2 houses converted. Same thing in Moore, in the southwest part of Oklahoma City. Go to North Moore, the area, Janeway and like 119th or Southeast 27th is ringing a bell, but that area that's traditionally or commonly older homes and rental homes now, those areas, like half of the homes in lots of streets have converted garages. When you have converted garages, where do you park? When you have converted one-car garages, where do you park? And that's the problem. You've got these parts of town that traditionally had one-car garages because they were old and it was unusual for people to have a bunch of cars at the time. Made sense at the time. Fast forward 50, 60, 70 years, and what you have is a single car garage that's been converted and a single car driveway leading up to it. So if you're the majority of people living in the city now, you've got more than one car. So now you're playing a game of you got someone in the driveway, and you're either going to stack your single cars, and then you're going to have to play the, that Yahtzee domino Jenga game where you got to back one car out to get the other car out, or you're not going to do that, and you're going to park one in the driveway and one on the road. And then you've got that kid that gets a little bit older, and now they've got a car, or you've got a roommate that's like, whatever the story is, all of a sudden there's 3 cars. Where does that extra car go? On the road. But if the average house, or at least half the houses on a street have converted garages, and all of the houses, or at least half the houses on the street, have at least 2 cars, then that leads to a ton of cars on the road. So, and if you look down a street that has a ton of street parking in cities like Oklahoma City, this does not apply to, Manhattan, Queens, the Bronx, mega cities, or tier 1 cities. This is like tier 3 and tier 4 cities. When you look down the street and you see a bunch of cars, it automatically makes the place look less nice. So when you're looking at a house with a converted garage, it really, really, really needs to make sense, like deeply make sense in order for it to make sense for you to accept a property where somebody else has already extracted the value, either in a responsible, excellent way that you're paying for, or in a negligent, liability-ridden way that you're saddled with. It needs to make sense for you to take that on, and it needs to be compensated for in the sale price or the terms of the house. It's amazing how many rental properties are being sold primarily off market, primarily through wholesalers, and you look at them and they have converted garages. Why? Why do things go through wholesalers? There's always a reason, and it's never to serve everyone's best interest at all. That's not the wholesale prerogative. The wholesale prerogative is to serve either the wholesaler's best interest or the seller's best interest. There's a reason it's going wholesale. And if you see a disproportionate number of homes with converted garages on the wholesale channels, you got to stop and ask why. All right. Thanks for joining me for this live dive into converted garages. They're not necessarily bad, but beware. Be darn sure that is the investment you want to make, because once the garage has been converted, you can't extract more value out of that without doing a very expensive next step, and that usually isn't practical. All right. Vaya con Dios. Let's do this again soon. Bye, guys.